So when we talk about the possible connection between endocrine disruption and the LGBTQ spectrum, I like to start by separating the issues. So there's a condition called disorders of sexual development, DSD. There's a code for that, medical code. And that can be fused labia, that can be a micropenis, that can be ovaries and testes in the same individual. Those disorders are not, by the way, usually considered on the spectrum, but I just want to start there. And those disorders can be caused by endocrine disrupting chemicals. And a great example is the frogs that Tyrone produces by exposing them to atrazine, which is a pesticide. And he also finds them in the wild near fields that were sprayed with atrazine. Okay? So there's no question that those changes can be caused. Okay, so let's move to the next category, which is the question of choice of sexual partner, the sex of your partner choice, and homosexuality. And that can be caused by environmental chemicals. And again, the best example is these frogs that are homosexual. And
a dog in their prime doesn't play like a human, so why would you feed them like one? Primal Pet Foods, high quality.
Tyrone has lots of photos of male frogs mating with other male frogs. And the Museum of Sex in New York has a whole floor which is devoted to homosexuality in animals, non-human animals. Some of those will be naturally occurring and some may be influenced by environmental chemicals. We don't know. But it's certainly a phenomenon. The third category, if you will, is the question of gender choice, gender dysphoria. And this is much, much more difficult because we can't look to animal models, because this is a condition of how you view yourself. How do you feel? Do you feel you're in the wrong body? Do you feel that you should have been born a male when you're a genetic female? Okay, so there's no way to ask an animal that, right? You ask your dog, do you think you would? No, you can't do that, right? The closest, again, I talked to Tyrone Hayes about this, and I said, what do you think? And he said, I don't know, but I can tell you that in the homosexual frogs that we produced by exposing them to atrazine, some of the males prefer to be a top and some prefer to be a bottom. That's the closest we can come to saying to an animal expressing their preference. And I certainly wouldn't say that's the same situation at all, but I'm just saying that's a little hint that maybe there's something there. Other than that, I don't think we have any way to know. We could study this, and we will study this. I'm sure I won't probably, but other people will, where you can take chemical exposure in the woman's body before she gave birth, follow those children until they're teenagers or 20 or 30 years old, and ask them. That study has not been done. And that is an absolutely critical study to answer this question, because without asking people, you're not going to answer this question. So I have to say, I just don't know. But I do want to say that this is usually preceded by somebody saying, well, do you think the increase in gender dysphoria is due to environmental chemicals? And I would question the increase. Certainly, there is more reported. Certainly, there is more medical attention to it. Certainly, it's in the political arena, and it wasn't before. But that's happened for many things. And when I was growing up, nobody would consider talking about being born in the wrong body. It was just not in the public consciousness. Individuals might have thought that, but they would not have said it. And so we're sort of hamstrung in a way. We can't turn to animal data. We don't have a good historical record. So we're really starting our investigation now. And we'll know more in another generation, maybe, but not now.